If you're a Latino looking to build true wealth, you need to avoid this one mistake that could really set you back on your financial freedom journey. Hola mi gente, welcome back to Latino Investor, your go-to channel for all things money and investment related within the Latino community. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Mal and I'm a 23-year-old Latino investor. The topic of today's video is going to be about what I believe us as Latinos need to avoid in order to build wealth. And that is going to be financing your car and taking out a car loan. So let's take a look at some stats. In America, the average monthly car payment for a new car is over $700 a month. And for a used car, it's not much better, sitting at just over $500 a month. The second stat that I want to take a look at is the APR, or the annual percentage rate of these loans. Now this depends on the person's credit score, as shown in this table. So for the simplicity of our calculations, we're going to assume that the average American has a prime credit score. So their APR is going to be about 7% for a new car and about 9% for a used car. The third stat that I wanted to take a look at is the length of these loans. For both new and used car loans, the average length of the loan is 67 months. Most car loans are issued in 60 or 72 month terms, so we're going to assume 72 month term for our calculations due to the fact that 67 is closer to 72. So plugging these numbers into a compound interest calculator, we see that the average person is spending about $60,000 on a new car and about $45,000 on a used car. That's a lot of money, mi gente. Now, I get that these numbers don't reflect the down payment that people put on car loans, but they also don't take into account the sales tax, registration fees, and other fees that come with buying and financing a car. So when we take a look at the total cost that people are spending on cars, I find it really hard to justify it. I mean, why not just buy a used car cash within our means? There are plenty of cars on Facebook Marketplace that are decent cars that sell under $15,000. Okay, so maybe buying a car on Facebook Marketplace isn't so ideal. I mean, after all, you are meeting up with a stranger. But there's alternatives. You can always search up used cars under $15,000 near me, and you can browse through the web pages that offer all these different selections from dealerships or online inventory. So taking into account the total cost of buying a new car and financing it, as well as that there's alternatives to doing that, I find it really hard taking out a car loan for a new car, especially when the depreciation curve of a new car looks like this. According to Ramsey Solutions, most new cars drop 10% of its value as soon as you drive it off the lot. Within the year, the value of that car on average falls about 20% of the purchase value. After that first year, most people can expect that their new car will depreciate about 15% per year up until year 5. So why are people spending so much money on a vehicle that depreciates over time, so they're actually losing money on it? Well, I think it has to do with how people approach financing a car. They don't take a look at the total amount of money that they're going to be paying for this car, but rather just at the monthly payment. It's not a question of, can I afford this car? But rather, it is, can I afford the monthly payments? Which is not something that I would recommend. Why? Well, because for most of us, the common use of our car is to get to and back from work on a daily basis. So when we take a look at our total transportation costs, there's more than just a monthly car payment. We also have insurance, fuel costs, and maintenance costs such as oil changes and other repairs that we need to account for in our transportation costs. And these are the things that people tend to forget when they just solely focus on the monthly car payment. Also, the monthly car payment can be easily manipulated by those that are issuing the loan. For example, if you think your monthly car payment is too high, all they have to do is extend the term of the loan and boom, you have a lower monthly payment. But are you actually paying less on your car? Well, no, you're paying more. It just feels like you're paying less because it's spread out over a longer period of time. Now, it would be one thing if most Americans could afford paying this much money on a car. But the reality is, most people can't afford an emergency expense. According to a CNBC study, about 63% of American workers can't even afford a $500 expense. So why is this happening? Well, I think it has to do with people being too concerned on status symbols and what other people think of us. We feel like we need to play the part and buy the fancy clothes and the fancy cars and the big houses. But it doesn't need to be this way. Now, I'm not saying to go the other extreme and not spend any money on yourself, but rather that you need to find a healthy balance between taking care of your present and future self. I'm also not saying that if you have a car loan that you're not going to be wealthy. I'm just trying to point out that a car loan is debt and that it works in the opposite way that investing does. If investing grows our wealth over time, debt stunts our wealth building progress. So if you have a car loan, you want to pay this off as quickly as you possibly can, because the quicker you pay off this loan, the quicker you'll have more money to save and to invest. And even though in our channel we emphasize investing in the stock market, investing in real estate and investing in yourself and your career are also great ways to build wealth. And it's never too late to get started. So if you found value in our content, go ahead and smash that like button and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our future videos. And remember, raza, hay que echarle ganas para salir adelante. Let's achieve financial freedom together. Hasta la próxima.